Little St. James, located in the Caribbean Sea, appeared from the outside to be a luxury retreat. Investigative records show that this was the center of some of the most serious allegations. The island was entirely privately owned. Access was only possible via private boats or helicopters. Multiple guest houses, private docks, a helipad, security checkpoints. Everything was designed to make external monitoring nearly impossible. The island was even outside local legal jurisdiction, which is why it remained off the radar for years. According to victim testimonies, girls were brought here under the pretext of massage work, assistant jobs, or travel opportunities. Once on the island, the power dynamics completely shifted. Luxury surrounded everything. But for the victims, it was not luxury. It became a tool for isolation and control. Investigations also revealed that the island was deliberately designed to keep movements discreet. Who came and who went, nothing appeared in public records. This is why prosecutors considered it a central crime location. While proof in each case varied, the pattern was consistent: recruitment, travel, exploitation. The estimated value of the island was between 60 and 80 million USD. This was only a small portion of Epstein's wealth. Media called it the Epstein secret playground. Available police records, court filings, and sworn testimonies indicate that Jeffrey Epstein faced allegations of recruiting, transporting, and exploiting minor girls over many years. Most of the girls were economically vulnerable, aged 14 to 17. Recruitment was often indirect, sometimes massage work, sometimes part-time help, or easy money opportunities. This was not a single incident. The allegations pointed to a repeated pattern. A girl brought in was often asked to introduce other girls, creating a network effect. Many testimonies indicated that initially, the girls did not understand the seriousness of the situation, but later, due to power imbalance and fear, they could not leave. Some cases involve travel, from Florida to New York and Caribbean locations. Under U.S. federal law, if a minor is transported across state lines or international borders for sexual purposes, it qualifies as sex trafficking. Whether force was used or not is secondary. Inducement and exploitation are sufficient. The charges against Epstein in 2019 were sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy. These charges came after a grand jury indictment, meaning prosecutors had enough evidence for trial. Epstein's death prevented the trial from being completed, but the allegations and testimonies remained part of official court records. The big question arises: if so much evidence and complaints existed, why did action against Epstein take so long? No official agency or court has confirmed the exact number of girls transported to Little St. James. The reason is clear. Epstein's operations were secretive and undocumented. According to court filings, civil lawsuits, and victim statements, dozens of girls were part of Epstein's network, some taken to the island, others limited to Florida or New York properties. Publicly known survivors are those who eventually came forward through civil cases, testimonies, and interviews. At the time, many remained silent due to fear, intimidation, and power imbalances. The most unfortunate part: so many minors were abused, yet the system failed to protect them in time. Now, let's discuss the theory that took Epstein's case from crime to power politics: the blackmail theory. According to this theory, Epstein was not just an abuser or trafficker. He used information as a weapon. His private mansions and secret island were places where powerful individuals visited privately. If any illegal or compromising activity occurred, it could be documented and later used for influence or leverage. Victim testimonies suggested Epstein wanted control over everything: who came, where they stayed, and whom they met. Investigators also noted unusual surveillance setups at his properties. Supporters of the blackmail theory argue that Epstein's extraordinary protections, such as the controversial 2008 plea deal, cannot be explained by money alone. They claim Epstein may have possessed information that made the system uncomfortable. Official investigations and court records have not proven Epstein blackmailed anyone, but prosecutors cannot completely deny the possibility of blackmail. The story shifts when Epstein first came to public attention in 2005, Palm Beach, Florida. Several teenage girls filed complaints with the local police. They alleged sexual abuse under the pretext of massages at Epstein's home. Initially, the case seemed like an isolated local crime, but as investigators recorded statements, they realized it was not isolated. Police investigated for months, identifying multiple victims. The stories matched: same house, same pattern, same inducement method. Police recommended serious felony charges. At this stage, the case seemed strong, and it was expected that Epstein would face harsh punishment. But the system took an unexpected turn. The case moved from local prosecutors to federal level. In 2008, Epstein received a non-prosecution agreement, also called a sweetheart deal. He accepted limited charges, convicted at the state level for solicitation of a minor, but avoided serious federal trafficking charges. He served 18 months, of which he spent about 13 months in a work release program. This sentence shocked victims and the public, as police records had documented multiple victims. After his release in 2009, Epstein resumed his luxury lifestyle: private jets, mansions, and islands. In July 2019, after nearly a decade of silence, Epstein's life took a dramatic turn. At JFK Airport, New York, he was arrested by federal agents. This time, the charges were far more severe: sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy. This case went directly to federal court. Prosecutors stated Epstein recruited underage girls for years, transporting them across states and internationally for sexual exploitation. Unlike 2008, no special deal was given. He was denied bail and placed in the Metropolitan Correctional Center, MCC, a high-security federal jail. On August 10, 2019, Epstein was found dead in his jail cell. The New York City medical examiner declared it a suicide. However, several disturbing facts emerged. Epstein should have been on suicide watch. Guards missed regular checks, and surveillance cameras malfunctioned. Legally, with his death, ongoing criminal cases ended, but the story did not end. Civil cases continued, and investigations went deeper. Epstein became not just an individual criminal, but a symbol of power, abuse, and systemic failure. The Epstein files emerged, not a single file, but a massive collection of court records, depositions, emails, travel logs, and sealed documents kept confidential for years. It's important to note the Epstein files are not an official government book or report. The term became popular when U.S. courts unsealed civil lawsuit documents, including victim depositions, witness statements, and network references. Many names appeared: politicians, businessmen, academics, and influential figures. The public release revealed how wide and powerful Epstein's network was, and how secrecy shielded this network for years. The files show the story extends beyond one person, exposing institutions, power structures, and legal loopholes. The immediate impact: survivors received validation, debates started, and pressure mounted on governments and courts to handle future cases better. Media, governments, courts, and the public focused on one question: what next? The Epstein files showed that crime is not always committed by individuals alone. Sometimes systems allow it. When money, power, and secrecy combine, justice can take years to arrive.